So our first video is from Hey Eleanor from TikTok.
How the fuck is this happening for the third time in 9 months? My company just laid off 300 people. If you don't know me, I've been at my new company for 9 months. This is now the third time that they've laid people off since I've joined. So yeah, I have some PTSD, and yeah, it makes me nervous. I did get the magical email that was like, we have notified all people. If you have not been notified, your role was not impacted. It's just fucked up. It just sucks. Everything about it sucks. 300 people is not a small group of people. That's entire teams. That's entire departments sometimes, even though my role.
So that's just crazy to me, y'all. Like 300 people. It's easy to assume that only 300 people were, affected. Some of those people have their entire family depending on that one income. So I'm guessing there's probably like thousands of people affected from these 300 laid off folks. And how is it so easy for companies to just lay off everyone? Are we really just like numbers on a spreadsheet, like so conveniently removed from these positions? And that's the thing, it's so easy for them to lay us off, and yet it's so hard to get another position. So this is CJ Lewis from TikTok.
I am 24 hours away from being homeless. I'm unemployed, 41, and I'm single. But this is the first time that I have completely let go of everything. All 5 fingers have been released from the cliff, and I'm kind of doing a trust fall. I leave for New York in the morning. I'll be there for 3 weeks, and I have no idea what's next. I've applied for over 1,000 jobs, and I've had 3 interviews. And if another person tells me to optimize my resume, I might have a stroke. I'm not even worried. I think I pretend to be worried because I don't want someone to think that I'm egotistical or think that I'm naive. I'm not worried. I know something is coming. Don't know what it is, but I'm ready for it. Got my bags packed, literally. Wish me luck, or send me a job lead.
Maybe that's also like a feeling that we all can relate to, but for me, it was more of like, I'm just numb. Like, I don't want to care that much anymore. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. But y'all, like, this is crazy, and I hope she's not homeless. I think she got an update on her TikTok saying there's like an opportunity on her way or something. So reach out to us if you have any job opportunities. Okay, so next video is from Lindsay, TikTok.
Being unemployed for over a year has been really hard. They say life has ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and the beginning of being unemployed was so much of the up and down, and the chance to breathe and recalibrate and kind of be sad, but then somewhat hopeful that something better is going to come along. And now that I'm 13 months post layoff, I feel defeated. I'm emotionally and physically absolutely exhausted. I think that people don't talk about the toll that it takes on your mind and your body and your relationships and how you navigate life. You lose your identity, you lose a part of yourself, and no, your job should not be who you are. But when finances are a struggle, it's so hard.
Like for me, when I lost my job, it's like I lost who I am. Like income was lost and identity because what I was doing was not there anymore. But also the friends that I surrounded myself with were mostly workmates. And so when I was laid off, it's like a complete shutdown on my community, on my circle of friends, because, we no longer work in the same job. And so there was almost like no reason for us to hang out, or there's nothing to talk about. And I feel like if I reached out, it would be kind of like awkward, because then, they will still be talking about the same things at work whereas I could no longer relate, Does that make sense? So yeah, it's really difficult, and this is what not many people are talking about openly, to your friends and family, because it brings a lot of shame. Okay, our next video is from Elena on TikTok still.
Has anyone else kind of stopped applying to jobs? And not even because you don't want to work, but more so because it doesn't even feel like it leads anywhere anymore. It's like you apply, and you either never hear anything back, or the jobs that you do hear back from don't even realistically cover basic living. And at some point, it just kind of starts to feel like, what's the point of doing the same exact thing and expecting a different outcome? I don't really feel like that's us giving up. It's more so people just realizing that something isn't really working anymore. Has anyone else kind of...
Absolutely relate with that. Another thing that I hate is whenever I see job postings looking for candidate pools, obviously they're not hiring immediately, but they just, want to see what's out there. And yeah, it truly is a humiliation ritual applying for jobs these days. Let's look at Dr. Jennifer on TikTok.
I've accepted a job offer after 2 years of being unemployed. Here's what I've learned. And I'm 2 years shy of 50. Trust me, that matters in this conversation. Number one, this is one of the best reasons to be married. It's not the only reason, but it is a good reason. Because I would have been back home with my parents a year and a half ago if it were not for the fact that my spouse still had income. And that I married a saver, so we had money for this rainy day. And this rainy day was more than a day. It was a monsoon that lasted for years. Number two, long-term unemployment gives you a lot of time to figure out who you are outside of your job title, because you have no idea how much you identify with your work until it's gone. Subpoint, you start getting really clear on what your dreams and your goals are. Because in this job market, when things are this bleak and even trying to get a basic job is incredibly difficult, you start saying, I might as well start going for my big dreams because the odds of getting it are just the same. Point three, yeah, you'll be surprised at the people who kind of slowly wander away from you. But wow, some people will show up for you in your life that you would have never expected. And that is, Speaking of people, it gets very awkward once you're in this place later in life, because at this age, a lot of your friends and your peers are already settled in their careers. Friends are director level, they own their own businesses, they're getting tenure, they've hit all of their milestones. And when you're still sitting here at the bottom, having to start over again, it gets weird. My last point, which probably won't even be it, this job market is so brutal for elder millennials and Gen X. When the market is flooded with applicants, they are looking for reasons to thin the herd. And there's no easier way to do it than to look at someone and say overqualified. They can cite cultural fits as a reason to not pick up your application, because they can look at you and tell you are significantly older than everyone else on their staff. It is rough.
First of all, congrats for getting a job, Dr. Jennifer. Like I said, I mostly don't talk to my friends in my previous job anymore, but some of them still check in with me once in a while, and that just truly warms my heart. But I'd say a majority of them I have not heard a word from since I left my position. But yeah, let's move on to our final video, and I think she's got a lot of really good points here. Giovanna on TikTok.
Okay, so CNBC just published an article about long-term unemployment becoming the status quo in today's job market, and you should read it because everything that you are feeling is in there, okay? The article starts by talking about the numbers. 1 in 4 unemployed people have been job searching for over 6 months. That's 1.8 million Americans. And typically long-term unemployment goes down after a recession, but I think we're actively living in a recession, so this time it's going up. And the individual stories that they share back up this data, right? Like, we have a job seeker who was making 6 figures now delivering for DoorDash, and another went through 8 rounds of interviews and still didn't get a job. And someone else applied to 150 jobs in 7 months, made it to 2 final rounds, and got no offers and was ghosted. Then we have somebody who had 2 competing job offers in 2022, and now this person went from feeling highly skilled to completely ignored just a couple years later. And his skills haven't changed. If anything, they've improved. And so he shared that either the market is shifting or there's less hiring. And really, it's both of those things, right? And we're seeing the patterns now. Like entry-level jobs are down 35% since 2023, and the US added only 181,000 jobs in all of 2025. And as of December, there are 1 million more people looking for work than there are jobs available. So job seekers are doing everything right. Like they're tailoring their applications, they're networking, they're going through multiple rounds of interviews, doing presentations, and still not landing the role. And job seekers are saying that the hardest part isn't just the rejection. It's not having a satisfying or comfortable answer when people in their lives ask how the search is going, right? Like they wish people knew this is not a choice and that they want to work and they want to be able to provide for themselves and for their families again. And one of them captured it perfectly, calling the modern job search a mental war. And my take is that long-term unemployment is being treated as a personal shortcoming when it's actually a structural issue. And the article illustrates this point very clearly. This is not individual failure. This is a broken system. And the bottom line is that if you've been searching for 6 months or more, you are not alone. 1.8 million people are in the exact same position as you, even though you feel isolated, even though you feel alone. So this article is something that you can show people if they don't understand why you haven't found something yet. Because it's not about your effort. It's not about your skills. It's about a job market and an economy that has fundamentally changed and nobody knows what to do about it, right? Like,
So that is the final video I want to share because it captures exactly, I think what we have to focus on is that what we're experiencing is not fully our fault. This is, instead of looking at it as a personal shortcoming, it is more of like a structural issue. You know, we are in a quiet recession right now, and a lot of people are finding it difficult to find a job. It's not you, you're not alone. Maybe in your circle you are, but outside your circle, there's many of us trying to find a job, just trying to make it. And I hope you will stop feeling like it's your fault, because it isn't. You know, I'm someone who's done everything right, you know, like got my doctorate and did all of the experiences necessary, and it's just really difficult to find a job these days. Right now is May of 2026, and there has been hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of new graduates from college that are now entering the job market. And so it's just become even more difficult right now to find positions. And I also feel bad for the newly grads because they are coming in hot in this really sore, in this inflamed job market where there's no position at all. And y'all, I am just feeling for everyone. Like, again, this is not a choice, you know? It's just the reality that a lot of us are facing right now. And to end this video, I hope you will not feel alone, because you are not. Like, I'm in the same boat as you are. And if this video has helped you in any way, consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.